How do you turn $1 into $3 overnight? You announce a $10 million investment in a DeFi project such as RDNT, and then you watch the price go up by 10%, increasing the market cap from 280 million to 310 million. That's how the very big guys make their money. How can we benefit from this RDNT rally? RDNT is a borrowing and lending platform on the Binance Smart Chain and on Arbitrum. And with the platform, you can't just borrow and lend, you can also loop your deposits. So let's have a look. Let's say you were to deposit BNB and you wanted to loop that deposit. Instead of just getting 7.8%, we can loop this 4 times, pushing this up to 73.7% per annum. Now what's interesting here, this is paid out in RDNT tokens. So using the platform, we can farm the RDNT token very, very quickly. And when we look at the token unlock schedule of RDNT, we see how this has an impact on circulating supply. So right now, roughly 515 million of RDNT tokens are floating around. 1 year from now, that's more than 710 million. In other words, an expansion of the token supply by roughly 40% in 1 year. And that does have, of course, an impact on the price potentially if the adoption of the protocol can't grow as quickly. But that's a big if. RDNT is growing quite a bit right now and it got its investment. Here, this is the total value locked of the RDNT protocol over time in US dollars. It went from 28 million at the beginning of the year to a roughly 9x 260 million today. And so in the grand scheme of things, right, this 10% rally by this investment isn't really that massive for the RDNT token. We've seen way stronger waves in the past. Here also roughly a 9x from January to March of this year. But really, the fundamental question, if this can be sustained, is will adoption grow further? Because token inflation definitely will happen. Here's something that's very important with protocols like this. The incentives of the protocol of this DeFi project rely on the RDNT token. So the best way, in my opinion, to benefit from this is not to buy the RDNT token itself, but to actually use the platform. So if you're bullish on this project, don't just buy the token and hold it, because then you're simply getting inflated away. More tokens are being printed by the people that actually use the platform. What you rather want to do is deposit whatever collateral you want to hold long term, and then lever up that borrowing and lending several times to get those RDNT tokens as quickly as possible. But it's important to always keep in mind that there's nothing like a money printer in DeFi. If you make profit, somebody else is making losses. And you have to think about, how are losses here generated? Who is losing in all of this? And the losses are made by the people that sell the RDNT token last. In other words, you get a high APY now measured in that RDNT token, but when the RDNT token before you sell gets cut in half or gets cut by 75%, then your return isn't that great anymore. So that's the mechanics with every inflating project. Time the market properly, be early in the project and sell before others do. Have a very close eye on where the current adoption is heading, if it still continues to grow. If it completely flattens out, then you probably don't want to lock up your tokens. Because, by the way, there is a locking mechanism here as well. So be careful with something like this, right? Returns like this don't come from nowhere. They come from other participants that aren't as smart. Don't make the mistake of holding the token and getting inflated away by the additional issuance. And if you do take part, make sure to exit quicker than others. Please give this a like in case you found this useful. And feel free to subscribe as well. There's also a Telegram channel. Simply search for Bitcoin Strategy Channel within the Telegram app or click the link down below. I hang around there regularly, looking forward to chatting with you. Bye bye.